3, 2, 1, start. When I was 12 years old, a drunk driver hit the car my mother was driving while I was in the back seat. Stop. I have very few memories of the accident, but I do faintly recall a serious but calming face. I was gently lifted out of the car. Stop. The paramedic held by my hand as we traveled to the hospital. Stop. I was in the hospital for several weeks, and that same paramedic came to visit me almost every day. Stop. During my stay, I also got to know what the various doctors and nurses in the hospital on a personal level. Stop. I remember feeling anxiety about my condition, but not sadness or even fear. Stop. It seemed to me that those around me, particularly my family, were more fearful of what might happen to me than I was. Stop. I don't believe it was innocence or ignorance, but rather a trust in the abilities of my doctors. Stop. It was as if my doctors and I had a silent bond. Stop. Now that I am older, I fear death and sickness in a more intense way than I remember experiencing it as a child. Stop. My experience as a child sparked a keen interest in how we approach pediatric care, especially as it relates to our psychological and emotional support of children facing serious medical conditions. Stop. It was here that I experienced firsthand the power and compassion of medicine, not only in healing but also in bringing unlikely individuals together, such as adults and children, in uncommon yet profound ways. Stop. And it was here that I began to take seriously the possibility of becoming a pediatric surgeon. Stop. Para. My interest was sparked even more when, as an undergraduate, I was asked to assist in a study one of my professors was conducting on how children experience and process fear and the prospect of death. Stop. This professor was not in the medical field, rather, her background is in cultural anthropology. Stop. I was very honored to be part of this project at such an early stage of my career. Stop. During the study, we discovered that children face death in extremely different ways than adults do. Stop. We found that children facing fatal illnesses are very aware of their condition even when it has not been fully explained to them, and on the whole were willing to fight their illnesses, but were also more accepting of their potential fate than many adults facing similar diagnoses. Stop. We concluded our study by asking whether and to what extent this discovery should impact the type of care given to children in contrast to adults. Stop. I am eager to continue this sort of research as I pursue my medical career. Stop. The intersection of medicine, psychology, and socialization or culture, in this case, the social variables differentiating adults from children, is quite fascinating and is a field that it is indeed of better research. Stop. Although much headway has been made in this area in the past 20 or so years, I feel there is a still tendency in medicine to treat diseases the same way, no matter about the patient is. Stop. We are slowly learning that procedures and drugs are not always universally effective. Stop. Not only must we alter our care of patients depending upon these cultural and social factors, we may also need to alter our entire emotional and psychological approach to them as well. Stop. Para. It is for this reason that I am applying to the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, as it has one of the top programs for pediatric surgery in the country, as well as several renowned researches delving into the social, generational, and cultural questions in which I am interested. Stop. My approach to medicine will be multidisciplinary, which is evidenced by the fact that I am already double majoring in early childhood psychology and pre-med with a minor in cultural anthropology. Stop. This is the type of extraordinary care that I received as a child, care that seemed to approach my injuries with a much larger and deeper picture than that which pure medicine cannot offer, and it is this sort of care I want to provide my future patients. Stop. I turned what might have been a debilitating event in my life, a devastating car accident into the inspiration that has shaped my life since. Stop. I am driven and passionate. Stop. And while I know that the pediatric surgery program at Johns Hopkins will likely be the second biggest challenge I will face in my life. I know that I am up for it. Stop. I am ready to be challenged and prove to myself what I have been telling myself since that fateful car accident. I will be a doctor. Stop.